So today I thought I'd film the everything I made in 2024 video. I printed out a list here with some notes to help me get through this. Talking to a camera is still very unnatural for me. Talking to any human being is also still very unnatural to me. This list is going to be not in chronological order. Time isn't real, and it's a concept that I struggle to grasp. So there's no way that I could put this into chronological order even if I wanted to. Alphabetical order is the best you're gonna get with me. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing at the top of my list is the alternate reality leg warmers. I'm working on a pattern for these. I invented the pattern for these because I wanted to showcase this striped yarn in vertical stripes and horizontal stripes, but I wanted the leg warmers to have the same texture pattern, you know? So I crocheted one and I knit the other, and I started working on the pattern. I wrote it from memory basically, and I'm working on a second pair in a different colorway that I'm writing the pattern as I work it up to kind of double check my work, add and tweak things as needed. Knitting is really hard on my hands lately, hard on my hands and arms because of the carpal tunnel. Next thing is the amethyst top. This is a pattern that I actually won on an Instagram giveaway from Bugs.Bundles. So they did a pattern giveaway for the Zephyr top. And when I got around to making it, I decided to make it amethyst inspired from, like amethyst from Steven Universe. I just watched Steven Universe for the first time all the way through this year, by the way, so that explains a couple of the things on this list. The next thing on the list is the Amnesia top. I was lucky enough to be able to pattern test this top. This was my first ever pattern test, I believe, and it was for KozmicCrochet. KozmicCrochet wrote this pattern and I was able to test it. This is what I came up with, and it was a really easy pattern, and I ended up making another top based off this pattern as well. Next on the list is the apple bra. Made this at the height of Brat's summer, and this is where I'm going to kind of jump around on the list a little bit, so let me just kind of mark off what I've done already. Okay, so I made the apple bra based off Charlie XCX's song Apple. Everyone was doing the apple dance on TikTok. And with this bra, I also made the apple top, which is a variation of KozmicCrochet's Amnesia top. Then I also used that same green yarn from the apple bra and the apple top to make the, where's it at on here? The Brat Distress Knit Shrug. So for this, I was already making a bunch of distress knit shrugs over the spring and summer, and I had a bunch of this green left over. Why not make a Brat shrug? Once again, Brat is the only thing I'm listening to at this point in time. I also then went on to make the Guess skirt, based on, the song Guess from the deluxe version of the album. So next on the list, we're going back to alphabetical order, is 8 mushroom bandanas. I got this pattern from Chelsea Crochets. I'll put their Instagram on the screen. They are selling this pattern on their Ko-Fi, which is where I got it, and I ended up making 8 variations. I kept one for myself, I gave one to my best friend, I sold 3 at a market, and I have 3 remaining. Next on the list is the black and pink fuzzy cat hat with the nose. This was a commission that I actually just got at the end of the year, and it turned out amazing. I ended up starting and restarting over and over with this hat like 5 times before I finally got it where it needed to be. Once I got those ears done, everything else was smooth from there. Next on the list are 7 bubble wand holders. This is a pattern from Hooked.Inhorrorland. I bought this off of their website, which they run through Shopify as well. Super easy to understand pattern. Next on the list is the Calypso top. This is a pattern that I did a pattern exchange for with Hooked.Gems on Instagram. Once again, super lovely pattern to follow. Easy to understand, quick top, worked it up in a day. And then I just added some charms to it. This ended up selling on my second day at a market, and it went to just the most lovely young lady. She was so sweet. She was so sweet, and she ended up coming back later with her friend, and it made my whole day. I hope they're doing wonderful. Next on the list is the candy corn backpack purse. This is the one I made. His name is Cornelius Jones. It was a pattern test for the lovely, lovely creator, Julie.Strings. They make a lot of really pretty, really detailed, really intricate bags and many other things as well. Just all of their work is beautiful. Next thing on my list is 3 Cartman hats, and this is another one that I'm going to kind of jump around with. So I did a whole South Park collection. I ended up making 3 Cartman hats on the Centro, 3 Stan hats on the Centro, and then I crocheted a Kyle hat, and I also crocheted a Kenny hood. So the Cartman hats and the Stan hats were made on the Centro, just using a standard beanie pattern. Very simple. Super cute though. I think they came out looking, you know, very recognizable. And then I had to think for a while about how to do Kyle's hat. I really wanted to make his hat, but like, I wasn't seeing the vision of how to actually make it something that you could wear in real life. I ended up finding a free pattern. I'll put it up on the screen when I find it, or I'll link it below if I can figure out where I downloaded it from. But yeah, I ended up finding a free pattern for it, and worked out amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite hats. If it doesn't sell this year, I'll probably end up keeping it. The Kenny hood, I think I could have done better. This was my first attempt at a hood, okay? I've made like a hood style hat before, but it was just 2 rectangles. And I wanted this one to not be pointy. It's not pointy in the back. And I also wanted to make it look as realistic to his character as I could, while also bringing it into real life. And I think I just made it a little too close to the cartoon character aspect of it. It's a little too narrow on the face. I have ideas for how to make a better one, and I might try to execute that one better this year. We'll see. I made this nifty little cell phone purse. It's got a compartment for my cell phone, for cards like your ID or debit card, and it's got a little vape holder. I made this for an occasion where I needed those items on me, but I didn't have any pockets, didn't want to bring a big purse, didn't want something that I would need to take off and maneuver and worry about remembering. Just a quick little crossbody cell phone bag. Nice and simple. Made it out of cotton yarn, so it's pretty sturdy, and it has a cute little teddy bear button. Next on the list are the chowder hat, chowder hand warmers, and chowder leg warmers. I don't know if I have pictures for these. I'm so sorry. I made them for my best friend, and I was so excited to give it to them that I just gave it to them without taking any product pictures. And I'm trying not to like pressure them into sending me pictures. I don't want them to like, you know, oh, I gave you this present, but it's conditional. Send me the pictures. No, I'm not going to be like that. So when they're comfortable with taking pictures and sending them to me, I'll be adding those somewhere. Instagram, most likely. You should follow me. It's Blue Siren Art. Next on the list is a cow hat for my sister. Very cute. Then I got a custom order at some point in the year for an apple bikini set. Based on my apple bra, they wanted like a red apple bikini, but they wanted it to be, you know, a nice fresh apple, not a rotten one. Not Charlie XCX's generational trauma apple. Just nice little apples. They wanted them to be tiny apples to only cover the nip nops. They're a spicy creator. I support spicy creators, so I had no problem making this custom for them. Next on my list is the Distress Knit Shrug prototype. So this is the first Distress Knit Shrug that I made in 2024. Next on the list is the eyeball bucket hat. I made this for my friend Kat to wear when they took me to see Zed's Dead. Next on the list is my father-in-law's slippers. He asked me for some slippers. I have no idea how to crochet slippers. I thought about this for so long because I wanted them to be comfortable. I wanted them to be a nice padded thick slipper that you don't feel the ground through. They ended up looking like stuffed animal slippers, like if slippers were stuffed animals, I guess. Like, they didn't look very functional, And apparently his dogs love them. Next on the list is the first fuzzy cat hat that I made. I made this with blue and pink yarn. There's a long story behind this one. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing. But let's just say that when I was running an Etsy, someone ordered a custom order through my Etsy. I let them know that this custom order would be final and non-refundable. They said, perfect, great, can't wait, so excited, made a payment. I asked them for the final payment, and they said, never mind, I don't want it, and I want all my money back. I didn't argue, because I didn't want Etsy to get mad at me. We'll put it that way. I didn't want Etsy to be mad at me. So I just gave them a refund, and I ended up going into debt buying this yarn because fuzzy yarn is expensive, and that's the whole reason that when I do custom orders, it's half down and that's non-refundable. If you don't want to pay the other half, you don't have to pay the other half, but you'll never get the item. And you're also never getting a refund for the half that you did pay, because I already spent that on materials. And instead of making what that person had originally ordered, I made a cute cat hat. And I listed it, and someone bought it, and it led to a commission. So everything worked out in the end. Next on the list is a green bucket hat that I made for my brother. The next two are the gummy worm mesh shrug and the gummy worm mesh tank. I made both of these with a rainbow cotton yarn for Pride Month. And the mesh shrug, I have a free pattern for actually on my Ko-Fi page. I also use this pattern for a different Pride item later on. I think it's a really cute shrug. And then I had enough yarn left over to make this tank top. I think they're adorable layering pieces. And they're made with cotton, so nice and breathable. Next on the list are two Halloween beanies that I made on the Centro. They're reversible. You can wear them purple or confetti side out, whatever you feel like. Next on the list is my Hash Bash outfit, which consists of the Hash Bash cardigan, leg warmers, shorts, and top. I made all of these in April of 2024. I only had the cardigan about 80% done when Hash Bash actually rolled around. So if you don't know what Hash Bash is, it's like a festival that happens in Michigan every year. Next on the list is the Head in the Clouds bucket hat. Next on the list is the Hello Kitty hexagon cardigan. This was a commission that I got by wearing a different cardigan, the pumpkin hexagon cardigan. I wore this one to the pumpkin patch, and while I was there, someone approached me and they said it looked beautiful. They asked if I made it, and they were like, you know what, do you take commissions? Yeah, I do. They asked if I could make a Hello Kitty one. That sounded amazing. I would love to do that. So absolutely, we worked something out, and that blew my mind. Making a commission sale same day in person out in public just from wearing one of my creations. Mind blowing. It was awesome. So I immediately ordered the yarn, got to work on it, and it ended up being someone's Christmas present. So I hope they loved it. Next on the list is the I'm in Lesbians With You set. This set is sadly retired. It's a little too small for me. I made it as a size small. It was a part of my Pride collection. It consists of the top, which has a tie at the top and a tie at the bra line that you could secure several different ways. It's also got the upside down star, and it's got like a little moth charm hanging at the end of the star there. And it's paired with the Skort. And this was the first Skort that I made, and it's what the Blue Siren Skort pattern that I wrote is based off of. So it's got a thick waistband, and then it's a pair of shorts that I then sewed a skirt on top of. So that way, I personally feel very uncomfortable wearing skirts unless I have shorts on underneath. So I figured, let's build them right in. Let's make it one thing, easy peasy. And then I added a bunch of fun little beads at the skirt, and I brought it with me to both of the markets that I did in 2024. I don't know how it happened, but somehow a stitch ended up getting ripped out of the butt of the Skort. There's just a big gaping hole and a stitch that doesn't have a stitch put in it. And to someone who doesn't know what to look for, it might not look that bad. But to me, I know, and I don't want to sell that to anybody. It's not my best work. That's not what I want to put out. It served its purpose as far as creating the pattern. It served more than it needed to just for creating that pattern. It's beautiful. It still looks great. I might keep it as like a display, but I just don't feel comfortable selling that to anybody. Next on the list is the Kuromi Distress Knit Shrug. Officially, it was listed as the Cute Jester Distress Knit Shrug. It's made with sparkly purple yarn. It's like sparkly iridescent. Super cute. It's got the thumb holes. Love that one. Next I have the Meg hat that I made on the Centro, officially called the Shut Up Meg. Just a hot pink hat, simple beanie. Next is the Moss Ear cat hat. This one I made a little sprout. Next on the list are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I probably made more than that, but I have 5 on the list of mushroom keychains. These mushroom keychains could be used to hold chapstick, lighters, maybe vapes if you have a short enough one. I made a couple that were actual keychains with like the little ring, and I made one that was a lanyard. I made my niece a headband for Christmas. I don't have a picture of that one, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it, but it was half hot pink and half gray to match her key coat. Next on the list are the By Pride mesh top and Skort. Skort on this one I ended up making more like a tutu. I ended up running out of yarn. I couldn't afford to buy more. Tutu looks cute anyway, and when I sent this pattern out for testing, a bunch of my testers opted to make this version. So it altered the pattern for the better, I would say. It gave it more versatility. And I ended up pairing the top and the Skort with the alternate reality leg warmers to make a complete set. Next on the list is the Oatmeal Distress Knit Shrug. I made this one for another artist named Poppy. Here is their socials. They do a bunch of embroidery, bleach painting on clothes. They're super cool. I sold them a shrug that I made in 2023 as well. Next on the list is my Pink Bunny ski mask. This was also a very good eye catcher at the markets that I did in 2024. Lots of people have told me that it's very scary, that it's very cute, that it's eerie, and yes. Next is the pink strawberry hat. I also made a red strawberry hat, so I'll go ahead and lump those together. The red strawberry hat ended up being sold at the market, and I still have the pink one. I made the hats themselves in 2023, but they needed the stem. Both of them needed a stem. And I did not make the stems until my friend Kat told me they wanted to dress up like fruit and go get fruit tarts. So I said, I have exactly the accessory that we need. Let me just finish them up real quick. Next on the list are the pink and purple hand warmers. I made these to go with a pair of leg warmers that I originally did have up for sale. But by the time that I made the matching hand warmers, I realized that my crocheting abilities have improved noticeably since making those leg warmers, so they just became mine. And then I also have the pink and purple cardigan. This one was always going to be mine because I bought this yarn at Michael's, and the yarn was like clearance, never coming back. This is the last of it. What you see is all there is. So I bought it real cheap, and I ended up getting 3 skeins of purple and 2 of pink, I think, or maybe the other way around. I had 2 of one and 3 of another. That's all I remember. And I ended up making this sweater with it. I love this yarn. The textural differences in it, they're all good textures. They're all pretty. It's so interesting to look at. And the colors remind me of my Hello Kitty bedroom that I had growing up. So I just love it. Next on the list is the purple ski mask I made. This was another spicy request, and again, I don't judge. This was the first time that I'd ever knit a mask. Next is the purple and black distress knit shrug. This was another one from the, spring and summer of shrugs. Next on the list are the rainbow clown shrug and the hat that goes with it. This is something that I've only posted on my stories on Instagram. It doesn't have its own post. because I'm working on a pattern for it. My carpal tunnel just keeps interrupting so many things. And then by the time I feel better, I have 74 different ideas that I need to start doing. I need to start doing all of them. So things get left behind and set aside, and it's just not done yet. I am working on it still. But the rainbow one, it's got too many mistakes in there. It's not something that I'm proud of as far as like if I were to try to sell it. It's not something that I want to. It's not up to my sales standards. We'll put it that way. So it's mine forever. Next on the list is the red and black striped distressed knit shrug. That's a tongue twister. I ended up selling this one at a market to a lovely lady who was dressed as a clown. So it was perfect. It was perfect. Next on the list is the scrap square shrug. That was actually the first thing I made. I do remember that being the first thing I made in 2024. It's cute. I like the idea of it. It's too itchy for me. There are certain yarns within it that are way itchier than others, and I ended up placing those in the worst possible locations. So no matter which way I wear it, I just don't want to wear it. I keep it because I can layer with it, and it is winter time, so it does get used every once in a while. Next on the list are a handful of scrunchies. I sold a couple at the markets that I did, and I gave one in my biggest order that I've shipped out. Next on the list is that split Bolero. This is a pattern by Sunny I'll put their Instagram information here. And I just decided to make it in a split colorway. I had 3 skeins of each colorway of this yarn, the sequin yarn. And I wanted to make a hexagon cardigan with it, but 3 skeins each is not enough for a hexagon cardigan. I'd probably need 6. So, Bolero. Next on the list is the Steven Universe tube top. This is, it was kind of just for funsies project. I made the tube top on the centro, and then I crocheted the star. I sewed it on to where the star is a pocket and put a little star button to secure the pocket with. And then I just added a little neck halter, more security. Next is the Sunset Distressed Knit Shrug. Next is a commission that I got for a super tall cat hat. Next is the Classic Distressed Knit Shrug, the Villain Distressed Knit Shrug, the Volcanic Distressed Knit Shrug. Next on the list is the Tiger's Bucket Hat. It worked out well. Next on the list are the Valentine's Day Love Core Leg Warmers. Next is the Valentine's Day Red and White Heart beanie. It's the beanie with the bear ears with hearts on the inside of their ears. Leg warmers with the same hearts as the ties. And I had hand warmers that matched, but the hand warmers ended up selling at a market this year. Next is the Waffle Stitch Hooded Shawl with Pockets. This was a pattern test for Hooked.InHorrorland. Once again, the pattern was super easy to follow. It did take a bit to work up. It took a while to work up, but that's because the waffle stitch eats so much yarn. It takes so much yarn, but it was worth it. Oh my gosh, so worth it. It's so thick and squishy and warm and cozy. Next on the list is the Wednesday Addams checkered vest. My sister requested this, and she ended up wearing it for Halloween. Last thing on the list is the Yuji Bolero. This is a pattern by GerbyGoods. They have it available on Ko-Fi. Very simple pattern, and it looks amazing. And that is everything that I made in 2024. I, for some reason, thought that I didn't make a lot. And then I typed up this list, and it was 100 things. I get so in my head and like hard on myself when my wrists are too sore to crochet. I feel like I'm falling behind. I feel like I can't keep up with my thoughts, and I can't, and I never will be able to. I have so many ideas that my ideas going way faster than my body will ever be able to. And that's okay. That is okay. I'll get around to what I get around to, and I'm pretty proud of everything that I made this year. So thank you so much for watching. If anything caught your eye, most of it is listed on my website, BlueSirenStitches.com. Follow me on Instagram, BlueSirenArt. I post things that I make as I'm making it, and I don't know, share my thoughts sometimes. I also have a Pinterest. You can follow me there. And yeah. See ya sometime.